Yo, what's up guys? Sam checking back in from Santa Marta, Colombia. Today I want to talk to you guys about the difference between living in Peru versus living in Colombia. Somebody had asked me what I had thought about this topic, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's a good video to make. So today I'm going to break down 5 reasons why you should visit Peru, and then 5 reasons why you should visit Colombia. Disclaimer, I don't really know which one I would prefer, but I can give you guys reasons why you should visit either Peru or Colombia, okay? But long story short, both countries are awesome. Both are absolutely worth visiting, okay? So that being said, let's go ahead and break down the 5 reasons why you should visit Peru. And the first one, maybe it's a little bit obvious, maybe a little bit not, but it's the history of Peru. Peru is basically a living museum. And for example, if you're living in the Sacred Valley of Peru, you can take a hike out into the middle of nowhere and you might stumble across ruins that nobody has even discovered or quote-unquote discovered, because part of how it works is they actually come in and officially mark it, and then they have an official digging. But there's plenty of ruins in Cusco, Nazca, and in the northern Lima area. If you're actually interested and want some more information about those ruins, I actually am in the process of finishing a book, which is a guide to the ruins in Peru. And so odds are by the time you are watching this, it will be published and out and ready to go. So I will have a link for that in the description box below. But long story short, there's a lot of history in Peru, and as I was saying, you can walk just around basically anywhere in Peru and you might end up discovering something that nobody else has seen, or if they have, they just didn't say anything about it. And so that's one thing that's really awesome about Peru, and it's part of the reason why there's the several day-long treks to go see, for example, the lost city of Vilcabamba. It's just because there's a lot of history and it's all preserved so well in Peru. And so that's the first thing, is the history of Peru. Second reason that you should visit Peru is the indigenous culture that is there. Contrary to what you would see in Colombia, there's comparatively a lot more of indigenous people that live in Peru, and specifically the ones that speak Quechua, or the ones that descend from the Incas, versus here in Colombia. There is a little bit of indigenous population, but it's a little bit harder to find. And so that's why I would highly recommend, if you want to experience indigenous culture, the culture of living off the grid, living off the jungle, the Amazon jungle, for example, Peru is definitely the place that you're going to want to go first to see that, okay? And my third reason why you should visit Peru is the jungle. Yes, there's a jungle here in Colombia, and it's part of the Amazon jungle in the southern border, but honestly, I've been to the jungle here in Colombia, and I've been to the jungle over in Peru. And at least in my personal experience, I would prefer the city of Iquitos and the jungle in Peru more so than the jungle here in Colombia. And so, like I said, I've visited both. The jungle in Colombia is a little bit more modernized, so to say, but if you want to get the more natural, indigenous, off-the-grid sort of feel for your jungle travels, go to Peru. And my fourth reason for visiting Peru instead of Colombia would be what they call the plant medicine, okay? And so you've probably heard of, say for example, San Pedro, ayahuasca. Well, if you are visiting South America to try something like San Pedro or ayahuasca, Peru is going to be the place that you're going to want to go for that. And so, yes, you're going to hear the term medicine as opposed to drug or hallucinogenic thing. And there's a little bit of reasoning behind that. What do I think? Well, yes, I have tried them, but I don't really know what I think or what kind of knowledge can be got from them. But that might be something that I talk a lot more about in later videos. But to summarize, I don't know what I think about it, but if you are going to South America to experience those things, it's literally going to be handed to you on a plate everywhere you go in Peru, versus here in Colombia, you're not necessarily going to see it as widely offered. Just keep in mind that if you are wanting to do those things, that there are a lot of people whose interest is more so in money than helping you. And so make sure just to find the right contacts if you are looking to do that sort of thing. And as always, be careful, because it is very dangerous, so do that responsibly. And then my last reason for you guys to visit Peru as opposed to Colombia is the cost of living. Oh my goodness. Living in Peru comparatively versus living in the United States or Colombia is very, very reasonably priced. I made a lot of videos talking to you guys about how you can live for $500 a month and under in Peru, and that is very true. Okay, outside of the city of Lima. Make sure to check this video out right here if you are more interested in the cost of living in Peru. Alright, and so that wraps it up for Peru. And now let's talk a little bit more about Colombia and awesome things about Colombia and 5 reasons why you should visit Colombia. Okay, and so let's go ahead and jump right into this. So first things first, my first reason that you should visit Colombia is the modernization. Okay, so there's a lot of the big cities with the big skyscrapers, the big markets, and the big urban lifestyle. If that's what you're wanting to see, Colombia is going to be the place that you want to go instead of Peru. Is there big cities, or are there big cities in Peru? Yes. Outside of Lima, you might not have a very easy time finding that sort of city. And so if you are wanting to travel to South America to see the big city, have lots of shopping malls and different places to look around, and just the whole modernization aspect of society in general, Colombia is the place that you are going to want to go. And my second reason that you should visit Colombia is the beaches. If you want to have a Caribbean getaway, Colombia is going to be the place that you want to go. If you want to go see the beaches, Colombia is the place that you want to go. And so, yes, you can go see the beaches over on the west coast of Peru and Lima, but honestly, the beaches in Colombia are way nicer than the ones that you will find in Peru, and it's typically the ones that attract the tourists to go to the beaches. You're going to find a lot more of that sort of thing in Colombia versus in Peru. More people go there for the historical sites and to see Machu Picchu, for example. Third reason that you should visit Colombia is the fact that there's a lot more international brands for shopping. Okay, so one thing that was kind of frustrating in Peru is I kind of had to learn, oh, I have to buy this, and I have to buy this, and this, and this, whereas in Colombia, they have a lot of the same products that you would be able to find in, for example, the United States. And so I remember living in Urubamba in Peru, and I had roommates at the time. There was one night where we were laughing and wanting to find potato chips to snack on potato chips, but they didn't really have any good options for that in Urubamba, and it's definitely not the Lays or the Doritos that you would be able to find in Colombia. And so if you are looking to come to South America to be able to find brands and types of food, just shopping that you're familiar with, Colombia is the place that you want to go as opposed to Peru. My fourth reason that you should prefer Colombia is kind of a little biased, and it's based on my own personal experience. So just throwing that out there, but it is the fact that there are friendlier people here in Colombia. Okay, so I've lived here in Colombia for almost 5 months now. I lived in Peru for 6 months, and just based on my own personal experience, I was able to make a lot more actual, real, genuine friends here in Colombia, whereas in Peru, it seemed like most of the people, and this isn't true for everybody, they were more so interested in how they can get money from me as opposed to being my friend, which is what I would have wanted from people, right? And so, like I said, that's just personal experience, and I don't want to cause or create a bad stereotype here, but in my personal experience, the people are a lot more friendly here in Colombia. My fifth reason that you should visit Colombia is the women. Okay, so this is actually kind of stereotype that there's a lot of really attractive women in Colombia. And, I heard that beforehand before I actually came to Colombia. But once I got here and traveled around and went all around the different cities in Colombia, I discovered that to be true from my own personal experience. And so if you are looking to travel to meet ladies, Colombia is the place that you want to go. You don't want to go to Peru for that. Well, actually, let me take 5 steps back. There actually are some pretty attractive girls in Peru as well. But in my experience and in the stereotype, Colombia is the place that you want to go for that sort of thing. Okay, so other than that, that's really all I have comparing Peru and Colombia in a nutshell. As I said at the start of this video, you definitely would want to check out both of them. Each of these countries are special in their own way, and each of them deserve recognition because they're both awesome places to go. But that's all I have for you guys, and that's my reasons that you should visit Peru and reasons that you should visit Colombia. But that's all I got. Peace.